Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. We're setting the intention for a message for July 8th, which will be in just a few short hours from where I am. But depending on where you are in the world, the 8th may have already come and gone. You may not see this video for another few weeks. So we're setting the intention for the next 24 hours from whenever you happen to see this video. The card for today, for the 7th, was the Three of Swords, and my goodness, woo, did I have a Three of Swords day. Those of you who are interested in the stories and the experiences, stick around. I will tell you guys that at the end because I think the process might be helpful for some of you. So if you're interested in that, stick around for story time. Oh, I sure am happy to see her. After the day I've had, I am happy to see the world. All right, my dears and my darlings. The World card is a major arcana card. So, what does this mean? Major arcana cards usually come up when we're coming into a defining moment, a significant new chapter. The things that we're experiencing are directly connected to what we've come here to experience and how we've come here to grow. And so, even though I'm setting the intention in this reading for a 24-hour period of time, it's pretty safe to say the things that are happening in the next 24 hours are setting a significant time in your life in motion. Like it's the start of something significant. And the World card is positive because the World card is about closing out and ending karmic cycles. It's like you passed the test, game over. You fought the last evil boss, the last bad guy. You won. It's a very triumphant energy. And oftentimes the World card comes up for me in my readings when there's a sense of really embracing yourself, like all of yourself, and uh, not feeling ashamed about any parts of you, any parts of your past, any characteristics, any traits. Like you own all of it, you love all of it. There's a sense of being comfortable in your own skin, with the World card being ready to be seen, celebrated, acknowledged, appreciated. There can even be a sense of physical travel that comes up when the World card is here. So these are all very positive things. Okay. This is like you've been going around in circles and you don't have to go around in circles anymore because you finally figured out what you were supposed to figure out. You finally had the epiphany and now you've been released. Like now you're out of it. Now you can go on to bigger and better things. There's a sense of ascension, of progress, of growth with the World card. To me also, this is what I feel like is happening for a lot of you. Okay. Some of you know that I was uh in a difficult relationship not that long ago. I don't know if I even want to call it a relationship, but I was getting to know somebody. And I am not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I cannot diagnose anybody, but there was some real serious NPD going on there, or NPD traits. And so in the beginning, I almost, and this isn't the story time, but I'm just saying this for those of you for the message I'm about to share. In the beginning, I saw it right away, and a part of me was like, girl, turn around and run. But another part of me was like, oh gosh, but like, this is so interesting. Like, I want to analyze this. I want to understand this, right? Like, I haven't been around this energy since I've done my work, since I've done my healing. Like, what is it going to be in this stage in my life to encounter somebody who behaves this way? And it just it became like this morbid fascination. And so I continued in getting to know this individual, and this is why I'm sharing this message about the World card. Some of you maybe have had a cycle of dealing with NPDs, or people who are very mean, or withholding of affection, or manipulative, or play mind games, or whatever it might be. But this is the thing, people like this, the reason why people get stuck with people who treat them so terribly is because like people with NPDs or people who are manipulative in that kind of way, they use your insecurities against you, right? They get to know you, they figure out what you feel vulnerable about, they figure out what you feel ashamed about, and they'll say things and they'll like throw that in your face, or they'll use it to insult you, because in their mind you're going to beg for their mercy or you're going to beg for their love. Because what happens, somebody hurts us and we're so hurt we want them to undo the hurt, so we go to the source that hurt us expecting for them to like unhurt us, but that's not going to happen. Then we fall into this vicious cycle. They keep hurting us and we keep going back for mercy, but we don't receive it. The thing about the world card, when I was talking about accepting all of yourself and loving all of yourself, I feel that many of you are getting to the place where you're going to be so comfortable with yourself and so loving towards yourself that people are not going to be able to use these things against you. You've already forgiven yourself for the things that maybe you carried around for a long time, or you blamed yourself for a long time, or you may have certain things that other people might pinpoint and they might say, oh, well, uh you have this particular thing about you that is unattractive, and a lot of people would find this to be conventionally unattractive, and you're like, you know what, I'm good though. I understand that, and but I still see beauty in myself, and there's a lot of people who see beauty in myself, and that's not even the point. At the end of the day, it's irrelevant. That physical characteristic or that physical attribute doesn't determine my worth or my value. And so I feel that a lot of you are learning to value yourselves so highly and so deeply that other people are not going to be able to make you feel inferior. Other people are not going to make you be able to make you feel bad about yourself. So that was the really interesting, fascinating thing for me when I was dealing with the NPD person, because it became this like power struggle. It became like, when will you break? When will you break? And I'm like, you're not going to break me. You're not going to break me. It was just this unspoken thing. And I think maybe both of us kind of got off on that a little bit, for a while. But it was just like an interesting experience for me, and I was able to just like walk away from that feeling good. Like, wow, it feels good to know who you are. It feels good to know that you have worth and know that you have value, that somebody else isn't going to come in and manipulate you or make you feel insecure. And so, with this world card coming up, this is the kind of growth and progress I feel a lot of you are coming into, where your identity, your worth, your value is going to be unshakable. Okay, it's going to be something that you can be very sure about. It's going to be something that you can be very certain about. You're not going to doubt yourself. You're not going to feel insecure or be looking for validation. So it's very beautiful energy in this way. Now, anything else around the world card? I think that kind of sums it up. Travel, success, progress, coming into higher vibration, breaking out of the things that you feel like you've been struggling with for a long time. It's very beautiful energy in this way. Um, I'm hearing rain outside. I got distracted. So this next thing here I wanted to talk about, I got triggered today. Um, and I wanted to share the story with you guys because I feel like it can be very helpful, because I've said we're all on this healing journey together, and I want to show you guys that I practice what I preach and kind of like what my process looks like for me, and that might be helpful for some of you. The first thing I really want to emphasize here is that the person that I got triggered by is somebody that I respect. Okay, first and foremost, I respect this person greatly. I have great respect for what they do and who they are, and for their, the way that they stand by their beliefs. This is not a bad person. I really want to emphasize this. And that's one of the things I think we need to remind ourselves of, is that sometimes people trigger us, and it doesn't mean that they're evil. It doesn't mean that they're an evil person. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person. Okay. And if you don't understand how triggering works, or if you don't understand how mirroring works, it can be kind of traumatizing or shocking. Like, I thought this was a good person. I thought this was a nice person. How could they be so terrible? They're not terrible, okay? It's just, this is the avenue in which the universe is holding up a mirror and showing you where you may still be wounded, or where you may be doing something similar to other people. It can be either one. In my case, I was shown where I was wounded. I'm not going to say who it was, because I did reach out to the person. I didn't hear back from them. And I just kind of said, hey, I'm thinking of sharing this story. And, do you want to add anything to it? Because I thought maybe having the other side could make it, I don't know, a little bit more complete, or like everybody understand each other. But I didn't hear back. So I'm not going to put anybody on blast. And I just need to say this, guys. Please, 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 I'm begging you. If you happen to figure out who it was, or if you may have also received a similar joke today, and you're like, oh, I know who told that joke. Please, please, please don't put it in the comments, because it's not my place here to draw out anybody who maybe doesn't want to, uh, be in it. So, um, someone told a joke today, and it was the first thing that I saw. The second I woke up, I slept in. I wanted to be rested. I ended up not taking my bath. Like I said, I was gonna take my bath, which is good because I ended up taking it after this. And there was a joke about, like, I hope you're doing well today, and if you're not, well, then maybe you should blame your parents for not having aborted you. And it's a dark joke. It's a dark joke, okay? And so I will say this. Um, uh, I can have a dark sense of humor too. And just in that moment that I processed that joke, that it just kind of like hit me in the face and I processed it, I immediately remembered something that I've been through therapy. I've gone to therapists, and years of therapy, I had forgotten about this. I had forgotten about the situation, and it became this chain reaction of memories and things coming up, and it was like I was reliving it all over again. And there was a time when I was like 14, and I was just screaming at my parents, upset at them. I was very upset at them for having me, for being born, right? Because it was just like I felt like I couldn't be what I was supposed to be. And I felt very powerless in the situation, because it's like I never wanted to be here. I didn't ask to be here, right? Like, you guys, you guys brought me here, and like I don't want to be here. And I had a lot of anger, and I was just screaming and yelling at them. And I was just I flat out said, I wish you would have had an abortion. And I remember yelling at my dad, like, and I think I had to process a lot of shame. I felt a lot of shame about this in the moment that I was remembering it. And I was like, why couldn't you use a condom? Like, why couldn't you pull out? Like, I was just screaming. And I come from a background, I come from a culture, you can't talk to your parents that way. You will get you will get disciplined. Sometimes it doesn't matter how old you are. But just at the risk of that, I didn't care. I was like, you can come after me, you can hit me, you can do whatever you want to do, you can smack me around, I don't even care. I was just going off. And they were both just quiet. They didn't say a thing. And I'm just waiting for them to get upset. I'm waiting for them to get angry. I'm waiting for them. It was nothing. It was like everybody just went to their rooms and went to sleep. And we never ever talked about it. It was like, we're never going to talk about this again. And there was nothing like, why are you hurting? Why don't you want to be here? Like, did something happen? There was never a discussion about it. It was just like, we're gonna act like this never happened. It's like I'm yelling and like nobody can even hear me. Like, it was just completely ignored and swept under the rug. And that set into a chain of events, a long time of me trying to like destroy myself or being very self-destructive. And it just, all of that came to the surface. And I was just processing the memories and the things that happened and the traumas that I experienced and the things that happened in my life that made me not want to be here, and the things that happened in my life that made me really hate people and really made me hate this planet and just like not wanting to be here. um just layers and layers of things. And that brought me back to the Hobo McRib Rasputin thing, you know, another layer there that I had to release, because it's like, um, you know, he was not a nice person, not a good person, but he was very good to me. And it was like the one person in my life that truly saw me, the one person in my life that truly loved me the way I needed to be loved. But he was a con artist, right? And he had a lot of bad things happen in his life, and he was out for revenge. And so the way he was going to get revenge was he was going to go around conning people. And he wanted me to be an accomplice in that. And I didn't want to live my life that way. I didn't want to live my life going around, you know, screwing people over. I don't care if it's going to make me money. I didn't want to do that. And it was like, well, here's someone who's so amazing to me, who's so wonderful to me, who's giving me everything I want and need, but they're morally bankrupt in a lot of other ways. So that was a difficult thing for me to walk away from. And it was like, you know, I know people say, oh, well, you'll be rewarded for doing the right thing, but sometimes we're not. We don't do the right thing to be rewarded. And we don't deserve a parade. We don't deserve, you know, a trophy for doing the right thing. We should do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. But I'm telling you, I was just so triggered about like my whole life and everything that came up and all of the memories. And I just, you know, so some things that I did to process it is, okay, you know, why, asking myself, why did this joke upset me, right? Well, here's all the memories. Here's all the things that happened. Here's all the things that processed me. Feeling guilt, feeling shame, feeling like embarrassed that I disrespected my parents in that way after the sacrifices they've made to keep me alive and all that they've done for me, or the fact that I spoke to my father in such a disrespectful way. I had to forgive myself for that. I had to process that. Just the feelings of not being heard, the feelings of, you know, going through my life completely and totally alone and like nobody caring. And then it made me think of like my adolescence, when people would say things like that or do things like that. You want to talk about social justice warrior? I was like the biggest one for the longest time. You know, I wanted to challenge people and let them know, you can't say that, and you have to understand, you know, certain people are very sensitive, and I would try to challenge that, right? Or you don't know what people have been through. And one thing I realized when I used to be that way, they don't care. They really don't care. They're going to come at you like you're too sensitive. Or, you know, it's not my problem if you have issues. You should go to a therapist. You should go work that out. Or I have the right to say whatever I want to say. You know, people aren't going to just automatically change and be sympathetic. So I try to ask myself, you know, what are some reasons why, you know, when I had those experiences with those people and they didn't want to hear it? Well, either they're saying things, and I'm not saying this about the person who said it to me. I can't speak for why the person who said this joke. But when I'm trying to process it, when I talk about the processing, what was said? How did it make you feel? You know, why do you think this person said it, or why do you think it happened? So I'm just speaking in generalities here. I'm not speaking about this person. It could be an honest mistake, like somebody's not thinking and they just say something. It could be that someone is saying something because of the fact that They want attention, or they want to get people riled up. It could be that they're saying something because it's been their experience and they're just kind of numb to it, right? Like they experienced it and it made them kind of numb, or it made them kind of callous. So they can't understand, why somebody would have an intense reaction to it. And so it could be to stir the pot. Some people like to do that. There's a lot of different reasons why people might do this or might behave this way. And then so it's like, okay, well, how am I choosing to feel about myself? Like, what are things that I can do to remind myself? And so I just kind of tell myself, I went through all these terrible things. Yes, I didn't want to be here for a long time. Yes, I still feel weird about being here a lot of the times. It's not an easy planet for me to be on, right? But I just kind of, tell myself that at least what I can do is take the painful experiences and try to help other people with like what I've been through, right? Like if I can find the way out, and if I can help other people find their way out, then at least it wasn't in vain, right? And a lot of you have been very vocal about how much it's been helping you. And it's been helping you because I've walked the path. I'm telling you, like from my experience. So I try to tell myself, okay, at least here there's good in it. At least here there's a way that I can accept that these things happen to me, or I can accept that I've had to suffer so much. Because there are people out there who I can help them, and maybe we can, create kinder, gentler people in the process. Maybe over time, we'll be more loving towards one another, or we can set a positive chain reaction into motion. And so I just want to say, and another thing, I took my bath finally. I didn't have a chance to take the bath last night, but I took my bath. I put on my music. I put in my sea salt. I put in my essential oils. I put in holy water that I got from this monastery up in the mountains. And I had the longest conversation with one of the monks there. He was the coolest, nicest person I've talked to in a long time. And I was not expecting for monks to be that way. It was just this person close to me in age, really down to earth, really interesting. And like we talked for hours, and my friends have gone back a few times since I've been there. I haven't gone with them, and they're like, he keeps asking about you. He keeps asking about you. He keeps saying for you to come back. So I'll probably go and I'll probably have a talk with him. He doesn't know that I'm a tarot reader. I'm kind of curious about what he's gonna say about that. But we talked so much about scripture. We talked so much about the Bible, and just so much about life. And he was just such a fascinating person to talk to. So like that's gonna be like another thing that I'm probably gonna do in like my releasing and my healing here in the near future is go up there. But I took my bath. I put in the holy water, my sea salt, my essential oils. I put on my music. I did my release. I let myself cry. I had the AC blasting, so when I got out of the bath, I got all cozy in my pajamas and I got all warm in my bed, and that was very soothing and comforting. I watched ASMR videos of like carpet cleaning. I know that sounds weird, but I could watch that for hours, like disgusting, dirty rugs. There's a channel, mountain rug cleaning or mountain carpet cleaning. This guy in the UK, I could watch him for hours. It's just so calming and relaxing for me. So that's what I mean, like just simple things that are gonna relax you, right? That's some of you might be like, what, like rug cleaning videos? No, but you might have some other ASMR that you might be into, or you might have other videos that you like to watch, or books you like to read, or something like in terms of like stimming, like stims that you might have. So whatever helps you to just kind of rebuild yourself, comfort yourself, soothe yourself. That's what I talk about when I talk about the emotional aftercare. So the release was the bath. Well, I mean, the a bath can also be emotional aftercare, but I incorporated the bath with my release because water is very releasing for me, very cleansing for me. So releasing the, like, going through the process. Why do you think this person said this? Why do you think this happened? What are ways that you're choosing to feel about yourself from now on moving forward? How can you be grateful for the experience? What has it given you? How has it helped you to grow? Why might it be something that your angels and guides allowed to happen in your life? How you're choosing to feel about yourself moving forward, and then giving yourself like the aftercare, giving yourself that aftercare. And for me, it was getting all cozy in my pajamas and watching my ASMR rug videos and listening to my music. I chopped a ton of vegetables. I made Max a big old batch of dog food, so he'll be happy for quite some time. And just these are like little things that you can do. I will make my way up to the monastery here when I can. I don't have a four-wheel drive vehicle, and I'll need one to get up there. But I will go, and I will talk to that monk here too in the near future. Um, I don't. Maybe this is like a full circle thing. Maybe maybe I had to have the experience to take the bath, to use the holy water, to be reminded that I need to go back there. I'm out of holy water. I don't have any more holy water, so I have to go back up there to get holy water. So maybe we'll have another interesting conversation here, and maybe he'll have the key. Maybe he'll have something that's gonna help um me open up some locked doors here, or figure some things out. But I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have a fabulous, fabulous day ahead. I hope the story wasn't too depressing. And I tried not to like get all dramatic. There's a lot of things I left out. There's a lot of details I left out. But I just wanted to explain like my experience, because maybe it's something that some of you can relate to, or maybe it's like it's helpful for you guys, and like, okay, here's what happened, here's what I did about it, here's how I released it. And just don't be afraid to cry. That's all I can tell you. I hate crying. I hate it. But sometimes we need to release. So don't be afraid to cry. Don't be afraid to give yourself that aftercare, to walk through the intellectual process of it. And I thank you all for watching. Take care and be well, my darlings. Bye.